Hey guys, you're in a nutshell with me, Ina. Short but sweet na naman ang ating episode. We have a very interesting case study to talk about. Nagsimula po itong storya ng ating applicant, no, main applicant. Bilang isang refugee. Well, actually, hindi pa pala, no? Asylum claimant. Okay. Ngayon, habang hinihintay ang desisyon dyan sa kanyang kagustuhang maging refugee, nakapangasawa po siya ng isang citizen. Okay. Yan po ang nangyari, no? So parang from asylum claimant or refugee to a FAM pathway. Pero take note guys, muntik na po siyang mapadeport. Ang naging isa sa mga factors that saved him was his wife's condition. Okay, diagnosed daw po ng may ADHD ang kanyang misis at naging factor po yan para hindi siya i-deport. O sige, puntahan na po muna natin ang ating kwento. Lagay ko lang muna to. Ayan, okay. Yan, okay. So ito po, no, ang nangyari po, ang petition ni applicant sa korte ay huwag nyo muna akong ipa-deport. Huwag nyo muna akong ipa-deport dahil meron akong pending spousal sponsorship application. Sa mga nagtatanong kung bakit meron na po siya agad removal order, ito, sige, puntahan ko na nga. O, sige. The applicant is a citizen of India who came to Canada in 2021 on a temporary resident visa. Hindi clear kung anong visa ito. But upon his arrival, he made a refugee claim. Okay, 2021 yan. 2024 daw, okay, na-meet niya ang kanyang asawa at nagpakasal sila ng January 13, 2025. Okay, o this year lang. At agad nag-submit ng application for spousal sponsorship yung kanyang asawa. Okay? Ang nangyari, no, again at this time, ongoing pa yung kanyang refugee claim. February 2025, naka-receive na daw yung kanyang asawa ng acknowledgement from IRCC na na-receive na yung kanilang application. At that time, at that moment, winidraw ngayon ni applicant ang kanyang refugee claim. Yan po ang nag-trigger ng kanyang removal. Okay, siguro kasi meron kang refugee claim, bigla na mong withdraw, ano ka ngayon dito sa Canada? Ganon, no? I'm just assuming, please correct me if I'm wrong, ano? Hindi rin po kasi masyado dinitalya dito kung bakit. O, sige. So ngayon, nung April, months later, yung applicant received a letter from CBSA. Ito po yung nag-withdraw ng kanyang refugee claim, ano? Meron siyang letter from Border Services Agency para sa isang removal interview. Okay? Pero, yun, no? Days later, so sa halos sabay-sabay nangyari, naka-receive din naman siya ng request para sa biometrics niya sa kanyang spousal sponsorship, which is, as we know, no, magiging PR po yan. So, PR application. Okay. At the same time, yung asawa din niya, nakakuha rin ng notice muli sa IRCC na eligible nga siya para mag-sponsor ng kanyang mister. Ito na, July 22, nakakuha na po ng schedule si applicant para sa kanyang removal. He received this itinerary from the CBSA for his removal ng August 13, nito lang, 2025. Kaya po siya ngayon nagpunta sa korte. Okay? He is requesting a deferral. Okay? Huwag muna akong ipa-deport until a decision is made on his PR application. Okay? Yung IRCC officer actually, ayaw. Hindi po pwede, dapat umalis ka dito. Sabi dito, the officer found insufficient objective evidence to warrant the applicant's removal. Okay, sige. Puntahan na natin ang decision ni judge. Okay? Ito yan. Ito daw ang mga kinonsidera ni judge. Marami po palang pinresenta itong si applicant na mga dahilan kung bakit din hindi siya muna dapat i-deport maliban dun sa may pending siyang spousal application, sponsorship application. Sabi niya, isa dito, itong letter D. The applicant provided evidence of his removal causing serious prejudice to his spouse due to her health condition, noting that his spouse suffers from ADHD and shortness of breath. So sinasabi niya, kapag ako ay pinaalis ninyo, walang mag-aalaga sa aking asawa. Okay, nagsubmit pa daw ng proof ng kanyang prescribed medicine, drugs for the wife. The applicant also provided details as to how he assists his spouse to manage her ADHD. Yung officer ng IRCC, again, sinabi una, unreasonable yan, wala naman daw ebidensya. Yung claim na makakasama yung kanyang pag-alis sa sitwasyon, sa kondisyon ng kanyang asawa. Highly speculative daw yan, according to the IRCC officer, Ito interesting to. Si applicant meron daw palang kapatid na babae, na nakatira din daw sa bahay nilang mag-asawa. He submitted to IRCC, that the sister or documents to show na yung kanyang kapatid nakakabayad ng kanilang mortgage payments and other household expenses only because sinusuportahan daw niya ito financially. Itong si applicant, nagpakita raw ng mga savings niya, yung evidence na meron siyang ipon. Okay? So yan po ang inassess lahat ni judge. At ito ang sinabi niya. In the case before me, there is evidence that the wife suffers from ADHD, which impairs her ability to manage time, stress, focus, and everyday responsibilities, and that the applicant provides her with support by, among others, helping her maintain daily structure and reminders for medications and appointments, and providing her with emotional stability and mental health support. Okay. Nakapag-presenta rin naman daw ng ebidensya si applicant na nagpapakita na hindi raw maasahan ng kanyang asawang iba nilang family members para suportahan siya. So sabi ni judge, mali ang sinasabi daw ni officer, yung respondent dito, yung argument ni officer that the applicant's spouse may have access to other support. Okay, mismong si spouse daw, syempre nga naman, mismong si spouse ang nagsabing yung kanyang asawa lang ang kanyang only source of support both emotionally and financially. And I'm sure you can guess what happens next. Ang sabi ni judge, taking into consideration the irreparable harm to the applicant's spouse on one hand and the inconvenience to the respondents, I find that granting the stay until the underlying ALJR is determined would be just and equitable in all the circumstances of the case. Diba? So, yun. In short, the court decided that the wife would suffer irreparable harm without the applicant, and hence, he should stay. Pero may pinoint out din actually si judge, aware si judge. Sabi niya, I acknowledge that there is a public interest that an enforceable removal order should be enforced as soon as possible. Sabi niya, aware siya na may mga ganyang hinaing. Yun nga lang, for him, mas makakabuti para sa spouse kung nandito ang kanyang asawa. So, ayun. What do you guys think about this? Diba? Isa sa mga naisip ko dito, kunyari natuloy yung kanyang deportation. What happens to him being the spouse? Parang kasi kapag siya ay dineport, that would make him inadmissible to Canada. So, automatic makakancel ba ang kanyang spousal sponsorship? O hindi ito matutuloy, hindi mag-grant? Maaari, Please, those who might know better, put them down there in the comment section. Hindi ko na-konsulta ang ating mga suking immigration lawyer for this case. But yeah, do you agree with the judge's decision? let me know as always. Abangan ko po ang inyong mga comments dyan sa baba. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!